How y'all feeling this evening? Y'all look so beautiful. Would you agree? It's a simple one that everybody knows. The great, great Muhammad Ali. I am the greatest. That's his mantra. Would you disagree? He was the greatest. He lived his mantra. And see, if you have a mantra, that allows you to overcome the emotional part of this journey as entrepreneurs we go through. This is my CPA, he know. I done had some dips, and had some evolves where things have been great. But when I go back to 2013, when I moved to Austin, Texas for that job, I'm way further than I was back then. I manage my clock. I own 5 properties now. As of last Thursday, we closed on our first one in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. Condominium basis, right? So I decided I'm gonna write down on a sheet of paper. On one side, I'm gonna write down what are all the obstacles keeping me from becoming the man that I wanna be, the husband that I wanted to be, the father that I wanted to be, the business owner that I wanted to be. On the right side, I wrote down the things that that man would do. How would he operate? How would he think? What would he read? What would he eat? Would he exercise? Who would he talk to, and what would those conversations look like? And that's exactly what I did. The second thing I did was decided to visualize that man. And at that time, I didn't own any real estate. We had just sold the single house that we had. But that man that I wanted to become was going to have multiple properties. He was going to be successful in business. He would have freedom, which is most important to me, to be able to operate, to do as I please, when I please. And so creating your future self for me was about writing down those things that that man would do and how he would flow, right? The next thing, again, I visualized what that looked like. And I had multiple properties in my vision. And I also decided to make a statement that I followed. There's a lady named Louise Hay. Some of you may have heard of her. She's a motivational speaker. She's passed on, but go to YouTube, Louise Hay. Louise Hay says, man, I love this statement, so great. She says that I am open and receptive to all of the good and abundance from the universe. I'll say it again. I am open, wide open, and receptive, bring it on in, to all of the good and abundance from the universe. And so that was the third thing I did. I started saying that on a regular basis. That was my mantra. Anybody in here, by show of hands, have a mantra that they say? I see 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, about a third of the room. If you will indulge me, I'm gonna say my current mantra. And I'm living most of it, but again, we're talking about our future self, right? I am a leader of profitable businesses and properties that make a positive impact on others. I create the freedom, resources, and the legacy that I desire. I use my voice and energy to inspire others. I am healthy, happy, free, giving, loved, responsible, debt-free, wealthy, and abundant. I am a financial leader in financial surplus and have positive energy always. I am present for my wife, my kids, now I got grandkids, and my grandkids. And my thoughts become things. That's my mantra. If I could tell you, I say that about 25 times a day. Can I email that to you? I don't mind. Because listen, that mantra has changed 100 times over the years. And it's gonna change 100 more. What hard money lenders allows you to do is buy houses that need to be fixed up fast. They'll give you the cash, it's a cash closing, and you can get it done without too many problems. Conventional lenders, they're not gonna like those deals. But if you wanna really make money in real estate, you gotta be able to find the opportunities. And opportunity smells bad. It looks ugly. It's broken down. It's flooded. It's leaking.
That's right.
That's opportunity.
That's right.
Hard money lenders will say, hey, I got your back, brother. Because it's called a deal-based transaction. They're doing it based on the deal. I'm buying it at this price, which is 50%. I'm gonna put another 10, 15% in it, and I'm gonna be able to sell it or hold it, in my case, buy and hold for 100%. It's a nice little margin in there. So they're gonna make their bread, and I'm gonna definitely make mine. All right, so that was the first way that I did probably my first 2 deals. But I was still working a good job. And so I was getting cash flow too from the property. And when I say cash flow, I'm talking about the profit between the amount of money that the rent is being paid. So let's say they're paying $1,200 a month, but my principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, my maintenance fee, and the one thing that a lot of investors don't calculate, I'm a property manager too. Yeah, I'm gonna cut the check, even though I own it. I'm not paying a separate property manager, but if I did, they would get that amount. So that's gonna factor into my numbers. So if I look at all of that and it's still $1,000, I just cash flow $200 a month on that property. Not to mention, I said that they're paying the principal in there. So they're paying down the principal balance on my loan. And even before the pandemic, you could almost guarantee across the country about a 5% appreciation rate on real estate, coast to coast. So it means if you bought a house for $100,000 this year, next year it should be, without any changes, it should be worth $105,000. So principal paid down, I got the cash flow coming in. So all of those things allowed me, and my regular job, I was able to go out and buy 2 more properties. But remember, I told y'all, I am open and receptive to all good and abundance from the universe. So that means that as entrepreneurs, you might have a vision for where you want to go, but don't be so rigid on how you're going to get there. Your journey may have just changed tonight by meeting somebody that you're going to meet tonight. You still can have the goal where you're going, but now I done met my Quan, so my whole journey might change a little bit. Man, I didn't even see that going that way. Okay, so the next thing is, because I was on a track to tell y'all the 3 things that I did, well, the 5 things that I ultimately did. The next thing that I did after I started saying that mantra, right, was I began to start being more grateful for things. So now, and for the last probably 4 years, when I wake up, so there's a point, when you wake up and your eyes still closed, but you woke, you know what I mean? Yeah. In that moment, I'm thinking about 10 things that I'm grateful for. Might be, thank you God for waking me up. Thank you that I'm healthy. Thank you, I got this beautiful lady next to me. Thank you that I got income coming in. I mean, we could go down the gambit. Thank you for this great staff of Oak Cliff Chamber for putting this all together. Thank you for our sponsors. Like, I'm grateful that people came out tonight on a Thursday night, 6 p.m. to hang out with us. Amen. So it's always something to be grateful for. So that would be the 4th bullet, is to be grateful for something. Right. And then the 5th one, as I start coming to a close, is to make sure that every day, gotta find somebody to serve. That's right. Gotta find somebody to help. If you're not out here helping nobody, it's not gonna come back to you right. Right? Because givers are receivers. So you gotta be able to do that. So those are the 5 bullets, is to make sure that you're creating your future self. You have to make sure that you take an assessment of where you are right now, figure it out. If you gotta pull out that sheet of paper, write down what's in the way, write down where you're going. Next, visualize where you're trying to go and be crystal clear on that. I want my credit score to be 752. I want my business to generate $1 million in revenue net by this time next year. Whatever your specific thing is, you gotta be specific. Focus on my real estate business really hard in 2022. In fact, I wrote my goal for last year was, I'm gonna have 22 doors by 12/22 of 2022. I failed. But I still got my condo, I got a duplex out of that. Anyway, being open and receptive, let me tell you what happened real quick. So I live in Carrollton. There's a guy who lives probably 4 houses down from me. And when I tell you, this dude is the menace on the block. About 55 years old, tatted up, white dude, bald head. He walk around the block with his shirt off and stuff like that. He got a little dog named Lola. So, in 5 years, I only talked to this guy 2 times. And I'm gonna tell you what I was telling him both of them times. Hey man, get your dog out my yard, bro. And the only 2 conversations I ever had with this guy. So, my nephews came in town from Pennsylvania last February, around the middle of February. And my wife's tail light had gone out on her car. So I had been planning since the day before to go out there and put the tail light in. Well, all the boys in the house, their mom, my wife, we're getting ready so we can go out. We want to take them to the African American Museum Sunday. Well, it was actually Saturday. Well, this is what happened. I was getting ready to jump in the shower. I said, I got to put that tail light in. I am open and receptive to all good and abundance from the universe. I said, man, let me turn the shower off and go out there and put that tail light in. I decided to go outside, put the tail light in. We live in a townhouse, just me and my wife, so we have the alley runs around the back side of the house. I'm putting the tail light in. Here come old menace to society walking down the back alley with his dog Lola. And he kind of startled me briefly. I caught him from the peripheral. It's like, oh, what's up, man? I never say that to this guy, trust me. But again, my spirit was talking to me and I just briefly spoke to him. He stops by, he says, oh yeah, what's up, man? You know I'm moving, right? Okay, we're gonna have this conversation. Oh, crew, you don't like Carrollton no more? What's going on? Nah, man, you know, I inherited this house when my brother died of cancer about 2-3 years ago. My cousin has been the trustee over the property and he's been paying for my house expenses for this whole time. The trust is running out of money in 2 months. He told me I got to leave. I said, wow, oh really? So where are you going? I don't know, man. Somebody told me, I saw a sign on your car that said you buy houses. Well, I do buy houses, man. Maybe I can come by and take a look at your house and see what's going on. So we end up going to look at the house. He's in a situation, the house is paid for, free and clear, and he's in a bad spot. We end up making a fair offer to him. I mean, we didn't try to lowball this guy. I gave him the right numbers. But you know, 2022, at the beginning, the numbers were still rolling for real estate. So it worked out to where, got him under contract. He got a nice chunk of change, about $150,000, which for him changed his entire situation. For us, I was going to rehab that house. It had some foundation work. I said, man, let me call one of my other real estate investors and flip it to him. I made $20,000 wholesaling that deal to him over the course of a 4-week window. I did not see that coming. I never wholesaled a deal. I hold my stuff. But I am open and receptive to all good and abundance from the universe. So if you business owners want to create your future self, get some routines that are going to take you to the next level, get on that flight that's going somewhere else and dress for that flight, going to the next place that you're trying to go, and create your future self. I'm Victor Vanico Johnson. You can visit me at victorvjohnson.com. My business is also helping people who want to get into real estate investing, holding their hand through the transaction, feeding them some good deals, and making sure that they can close those deals properly and make them profitable. I hope y'all have a good night.
Wow, wow, wow. I think we all got some nuggets from that, right? That was amazing.